For instance, this woman is 100 years old and she's a refugee, and she ran away from the war when she was 85 years old. And I think in her face you can show the traces of history. Here, this woman's house was shot at, and that happened quite recently because there's still gunfire going on, even though there was a peace agreement. This is a building where refugees live, and they live in a skeleton of a building. It's not a real building, it's unfinished. So they steal electricity from the street because there's no way for them to get electricity. So there's this spider web of wires. For me, it represents also the chaos of their life. So I try to take metaphorical pictures that also show you know, history, and that show the struggle that people are going through right now. My relationship with my country, I think it's a very passionate love affair with many problems and many good things. And I think when I remember myself before, for quite a long time, all I wanted to do was to get out, to immigrate. Because during the Soviet Union, my family had a very hard time. After the Soviet Union, my family had even harder time. And then a little bit later, I started earning my own money. I got my own job, and it became better. But I was still very much upset with what was going on, and it was very difficult for me to grow up there and, you know, be a young woman there. And it still is quite difficult because there are lots of problems that I don't agree with. I don't agree with, you know, a lot of a lot of policies in my country. But ever since I started photographing my country, my attitude changed. I no longer wanted to leave because I felt like there was some kind of purpose for me to be there and to document all these changes. And it wasn't just the purpose, it was something I liked to do. It was something that I couldn't live without. Every day I felt like I wanted to do it, and it gave me an enormous amount of pleasure. I mean, it's like I finally found the job I liked, you know. So I changed my mind, and now it's very hard for me to even think about leaving because, you know, I'm so involved with all these things I'm doing. I think also in photography, in general, if you're a sensitive person, it doesn't matter where you're from. You know, if you're a French person photographing in Africa, if you're sensitive, you will make beautiful pictures. I don't think it matters that I'm from Azerbaijan. You know, maybe it affects the way my pictures look and the way I treat people. I can speak the same language, I can walk into their houses. But I think, you know, anybody else, if with sensitivity, can come into any country and do beautiful work, you know, anywhere, and show emotions and show, you know, affection and respect for the subject everywhere else in the world. When I look at exhibitions here, you know, I see all these stories from different countries, and some of the stories break my heart, you know. I look at it, and it really makes me really angry to see some of the things that are happening. You know, same way like it makes me angry to see some of the things happening in Azerbaijan. I mean, it's closer, you know, when I'm there, because, you know, I am from there. But I think it's all about how you look at the world as an individual. My future and my country's future. I think you have to look up and look at the stars and then maybe you will know. But I don't know what will happen. I mean, I don't know what will happen in Azerbaijan. Every day I feel different. One day I feel it's gonna be good. Another day I feel, oh no, you know. It's very, very difficult to say right now. What I definitely know is that it's very challenging. I think there has been some, for example, there has been some irreparable damage that happened already to my city, my home city of Baku. I think you cannot get rid of all these houses. They're there, and they're sucking the blood of the city. I feel that every day. And I think that's also an irreparable damage on the psychology of my people also, the war, you know, because children are being born as victims of the war. New children are being born as victims, even though they have not seen the war. They still have war in their minds because they are teaching them the ideas of the war, even in schools. I think this kind of damage will be very, very difficult to repair, and this will affect, you know, the future generations. I don't know. I just hope that with every generation there's less and less of that, and things will be okay one day. But I can't really tell you. I don't know. My future, I mean, I think in a lot of ways it's in your hands, but you know, there's also a thing like destiny that you have no control of. I think so far I've been very lucky. This last year has been amazing for me in terms of photography, and I've achieved a lot, and I hope it continues that way, and I will work really hard for it to continue that way. But what will happen with me in the future in general, I don't know. I simply don't know.